Hello. Hello, hello. My screens are just barely off today. It's annoying. Well, it's going all right. There we go. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome to the shit show. Hope you guys enjoy. Well, the Chiefs better freaking belt to ass on somebody, because if not, they ain't gonna be in the playoffs very much longer, or have a chance to playoffs very much longer. So if they're gonna do it, they better hurry the hell up. Yeah, if they're gonna do it, they should hurry the hell up because they are, yeah. Because right now they ain't taking freaking belt to ass and nobody but themselves. Ugh. Oh, I won the award. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate that. Thoughts on Rivers playing for the Colts? Rivers, I mean, he already played for the Colts, so don't bother me. Let him have fun. Someone's got to pay for all that formula. Dude couldn't pull out of a driveway, bro. Dude's gonna be having more kids in between plays and shit. Ugh. This feels like the longest week ever. Feels like I'm so dark in here right now. Dude's got like freaking 11 kids or some shit. I don't like it. I'm trying to mess with my white balance and it's either I look like I'm freaking completely like whited out or I look like this. I can't get an in between. I don't like it. I look too. The whole room looks dark. It's okay. It's okay. I know. For some reason it won't go in between. It won't. It'll either be just white as hell, like where it looks like I'm like a whole different color, or it's dark as hell. Like there's no in between setting for me. I don't know why. I'm messing with it for 2 days. I mean, not yellow. I didn't put any yellow in it. What are you talking about? I added 0 yellow. I did see the new South Park. It is hilarious. Yeah, it is absolutely hilarious. Actually, I just watched it. Funny enough, we were just watching it prior to the live. Funny enough. Yep, I actually just got done watching it. I do like the Christmas critters. I do like the Christmas critters freaking comeback. I loved that. Thought that was excellent. That looks a little better. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. Now we're cooking with fire. I don't know how my compensation got turned so far down. That's weird. Now I can see myself. Oh, excuse me. That's actually as close as I've gotten the two lives to look to each other. Funny enough. That's as close as I've gotten them to looking like each other. I don't want to touch anything. Why don't I talk about the insurance that's going to go up? I've talked about it. I talked about it for 2 months. I don't know what you're talking about. That's all I talked about all the way through the government shutdown. No, Crystal, I was trying to get this one to look like the other ones. That's what I'm saying. This one was the problem. Yeah, I talked about the insurance costs for the entire government shutdown and through it. Even a little bit after that, I was still talking about it. It's not letting call because I haven't turned on the guest request box or anything yet. I haven't done anything yet. Do people really get on these lives and just immediately just go like, I'm logged on, and then just like start taking guests 30 seconds later? Is that really what people do? Are you guys so impatient that if I don't take guests like within the first 30 seconds, everybody like that's the extent of y'all's like attention span? Like chill out. Jesus. Guys, I'm gonna let all the Trump supporters know that would love to come in and talk to me and like have a conversation with me, okay? I would like to let you know, okay? You are not the priority, okay? The world does not revolve around you. All right? I will get to you when I'm ready. All right? Learn to have some patience. Okay? You are not the star of the show. I know your parents gave you a whole bunch of participation trophies. They told you were special. Okay? They patted you on the butt. Okay? It doesn't revolve around you. Okay? So I will get to you when I'm ready for you, which usually is about 15 minutes after I start. So yeah, another like 3 minutes, but I'm adding another minute on for you getting on my nerves. All right, I'm adding an extra minute on just for you getting on my nerves. Okay. See now what did you earn yourself? Nothing. Now you're put in timeout. Okay. Something your parents should have done to you more. All right. Maybe they would have taught you some manners. And my views dropped. That's fine. That doesn't bother me. Views go up, views go down. Doesn't really matter, guys. I wouldn't even have been paying attention if you didn't mention it. I don't even know what it was at before. Y'all worry about that stuff. I don't. I just be hanging out. Half the time, I don't even know what my view count is. I just be hanging out. Yeah, those are just the algorithm gods. There's some algorithm off someplace in the social media land that decides what streams go forward, which ones don't. And there's nothing really I can do to affect that. That's what I learned. There's nothing I can do to affect that. I've heard so many things. I've heard so many things from people like, oh, you won't get put on the For You page if XYZ. And then all of those same people get less views than me. There's nothing you can do to affect it. It is narcissistic. Okay? It is narcissistic to think that you are smarter
It's insane
than the algorithm. You're not. You're not. Okay? It's just going to do what it does. Don't worry about it. Tashika, I don't even know. I know it's been low, but it's always low every December. It's low every December. This is my third December streaming as a streamer. My third one. Now, granted, the first one I'd only been streaming for like 2 months, so what the fuck did I know? But it goes down every single, especially after elections would be good. December goes down, January's down. It doesn't start picking back up until March, and when we get to the summer before the midterms, numbers are going to be through the roof, and everybody's going to be happy again. You know, that's all. It just does that. Yeah, people get busy. I will literally have people literally be like, oh, I haven't, will come in like February and be like, I haven't watched you since November. I'm back. And it's like, oh, yeah. Chester, thank you so much for the $5 set for my participation trophy. Oh, yeah. Well, I will donate that to the participation trophy of the people that have no patience. That's what I will do. Thank you so much, Chester. Tobin said, you mean you're not performing Seal? Heard it from the kiss of a rose on the hill. And now there's some roses in bloom. That's Seal, right? Is that the Seal we're talking about? Someone says that song still slaps 30 years later. It does. It is definitely one of those songs that you can't help but to sing. Like, you have to try it. You have to. You know? All right, let's start with a TikTok guest. Just not that one guy that won't stop whining. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
28.
Oh, what? Can I ask a question? Like a real
Sure.
serious question.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why do 20-something-year-old Trump supporters all sound like they're 50?
Do I sound like I'm 50?
Oh yeah, immediately. I was expecting you to say at least 45, based off your voice.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna take it.
Oh, I don't know why. I don't find that as a very good thing. But I mean,
I don't find it as a bad thing.
If it's a compliment to you, that's totally fine. It just every single time I hear a voice, and I listen to voices all the time, and I'm pretty good with voice or whatever. And so I get a mental idea of what your age is. And for some reason, all Trump supporters between the ages of 25 and 28 sound like they're between the ages of 45 and 55, and I don't know why.
You want to know something crazy too? I said 28 real quickly, and then I'm about to turn 28, so I'm still technically 27.
Yeah, it's just strange.
So I'm going younger.
It sounds like I assume it's just because you guys are real miserable, and it's just causing you guys to age at an exponential rate.
Believe me, that's not the case. No.
That's what it sounds like to me. That's my guess. So anyway, do you still support Trump?
I do, of course.
No, then I'm gonna go ahead and take it as that. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm right. I'm not an endocrinologist, but you can't prove that I'm wrong, so we're gonna go with that.
Yeah, well, I just watched you crashed out for a couple of minutes there, so
dude, if you think that's a crash out, your feelings are about to get so hurt.
No, but that's the problem. So you're the one that really does get upset very quickly and very easily. And how old are you?
Oh, no. See, here's the thing. I'm 39. I'm 39. See, and here's the funny thing though. You thought I was just you thought I was just upset. I wasn't if you want to go like 0 being everything in the world is perfect.
Polly, I don't care. Can we debate now?
Nope. 0.
And then I really don't care.
All right, then you can leave.
Wait, what are you going to do with 0 to 100? That was a 2. That was a 3.
Then you can leave.
That was a 6 or 7.
Would you like me to help you leave?
No, Polly.
All right, then be quiet. Shh. So,
do you want to have discussion on policy?
No, I want to finish my statement.
Oh, okay. All right, go. Finish your statement.
I'm going to.
You go ahead.
I'm going to.
Go.
All right. So on a 0 to 10 scale, right? 0 to 10, I was at maybe a half point, right? But see, you guys see that as a crash out. All right. Because you get your guys' feelings hurt about everything, okay? That's why you sound so old when you're really like 27. Is because you get your feelings so hurt over nothing, okay? That it's aging you. Learn to relax, bud. Not everybody's upset all the time, okay? Not everybody is like you. All right? Some people live very joyous lives and can just talk about things without crashing out and being upset. I'm sorry that you can't. All right? We're going to go on to someone else. See, no, I kicked him. You guys think this is about you. It's not. You guys really, really believe that this is about you. It's not. Take a back seat. Hello, how are you? No. Hello, how are you? All right, goodbye. All right, we're going to open up the phone lines, keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Woo, excuse me. I got the burps today. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Sorry you had to deal with that last guest. He's really obnoxious, just spazzing out back there. But I support everything you're doing. You're doing a good job.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Have a good one, all right?
No you have a good night, man.
Thank you. Hello, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
21.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Why is that?
Probably the economic policy.
Which economic policy?
I would say. I would say tariffs. I would say his tax policy is great. Yeah, those are the main things.
Yeah, so let's talk about why you support tariffs. Why is that?
It protects American industry, American jobs. It's also national security threat to a point.
Okay, so if it protects American industry and it protects American jobs, then how come we've lost over 1 million jobs just this year due to Donald Trump's tariff policy?
Like directly related?
Directly. Well, I guess about 100,000 of them were government job cuts. So I'll say about 900,000. About 900,000 private industry jobs have been lost.
What industry?
Sir, I am going to need you to get out of the wind or away from the fan or whatever. That is very loud.
Hold on.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, repeat the question.
Yeah, if it protects American jobs, then how come we've lost, well, still close to 1 million jobs from the private industry directly due to Donald Trump's tariffs just this year?
What industries were they in?
Every industry. Manufacturing jobs have fallen off the face of the planet. Tech jobs are down. Everything from consumer, tourism jobs are way down. Now, granted, the tourism jobs, I guess, could be more related to Donald Trump's immigration policy than it is to, to his tariff policy. But, still a hit, still on Donald Trump, and really, a small, minute part of that. Pretty much every single job sector is down as far as jobs are concerned right
now. Well, tech wouldn't be affected by tariffs. Like, that wouldn't have anything to do with it.
Of course it does.
Manufacturing, I am interested what manufacturing, if you know or not.
Right, sir, you can go through the numbers if you like, or I could pull up charts and all sorts of stuff. But if you're talking about like specific companies, right? We've lost everything from car manufacturing to consumer good manufacturing. We've lost jobs across everything. Everything from Amazon has lost, FedEx fired a bunch of people. So did Target, right? We're seeing it across the board, right? It's every single sector.
Well, Target wouldn't be related. I wonder what you said, car manufacturing?
Sir, I mean, really, we can go into specific sectors and stuff like that, but if jobs are being protected due to tariffs, then how come Donald Trump has lost 1 million jobs this year?
Well, you're referencing industries that aren't related to tariffs, like whatsoever.
You think that Target is not related to tariffs?
No, not the jobs. Retail's not.
You think that literally the most affected thing, which is retail costs, aren't affected by tariffs?
Well, costs, yeah, but not jobs.
Okay. Well,
that would be more like manufacturing, because retail doesn't retail jobs are going to exist whether their products are coming foreign or if they're coming American. Most of them are foreign, so they're not going to be affected by tariffs. The only things that are affected is actual manufacturing.
Incorrect.
And that's why I was
Incorrect. See, what has been going on is all of these companies have been eating a large portion of the tariffs, and a large portion of these tariffs are being eaten by people like Target, by people like Amazon, by people like Walmart, right? They've already come out and said, hey, we've been eating a portion of these tariffs. We're no longer going to be able to do that because we're running out of back stock when it comes to these things. These are affecting the bottom lines and the margins of these companies, and due to that, they are laying off workers.
So don't you think that would have be more related to them being monopolies than tariffs specifically?
Then if it was monopolies, they were monopolies well before Donald Trump came in, and you just said his tariff policies were supposed to protect these workers, and they're not.
No, I agree that they are monopolies, but that wouldn't be related to tariffs. If they're how much are it? Let me put this.
No, that's fine. How about this? Let's break this down really nice and easy, okay? You explain it to me, okay? Job creation was at an all-time high, okay, in 2024. All right, jobs were people were hiring and creating jobs at a rate well above expectations all through especially the last 3 quarters of 2024, right? But really the whole year, right? Donald Trump comes in, they're still building up high. Donald Trump puts in tariffs. All right, inflation goes up and job numbers start going down, and they haven't stopped. Right? Unemployment rate has been rising. It's the highest rate it's been since we shut down for COVID. And it's been going like that on that trajectory since Donald Trump put in tariffs. So if it's not the tariffs, then please explain to me how at exactly the same time Donald Trump put in tariffs, all of these numbers started being negatively affected at the exact same time.
I probably would say that he probably didn't introduce them as well as they're supposed to be. Like he did the blanket tariffs, which was a bad policy in my opinion. I thought they'd be more targeted, like in his previous administration, like with steel and cars, but I don't know why he did it blanket. That was interesting. So
yeah, but,
I mean, it could be related. I'm not.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, sir. You're saying you support Donald Trump's tariff policy, and Donald Trump's tariff policy is blanket tariffs. You can't say I support Donald Trump's tariff policy and then say I'm against blanket tariffs. Those are the same thing.
Well, when I voted for him, I assumed it would be like his past policy, which was targeted tariffs on steel, car manufacturing.
Sir, no offense, but the election was over a year ago. I'm asking if you still support Trump. I'm not asking what you voted for. I'm asking if you still support him. We now know that his economic policies are detrimental to the American economy. So why are you still supporting him?
Okay, but explain. Okay, let's just say that the tariffs are implemented bad, right? I don't think that we should have no tariffs. Is that what you're saying?
We've never had no tariffs under any U.S. president ever.
No, I know, but you don't think they should have been not increased?
Sir, we've never had no tariffs on any country under any presidency ever. So that's not Donald Trump policy to have some tariffs. Those are normal. Some tariffs are good for the economy. We're talking about Donald Trump's tariff policy. And Donald Trump's tariff policy tariffed islands that only penguins live on.
Okay, so what was my alternative? Like, what was Kamala's tariff policy? There was none.
There really wasn't one, and I don't know why we really needed one.
Well, we do need one because all of our jobs have gone to China. They've gone overseas, and we're being ripped off, and that's why I voted for him. And I thought it would be like the targeted, like you said, we need tariffs, and I agree, but some industries don't need it. It needs to be phased in correctly. So, I mean, I am 100% for the ideas of tariffs. Obviously, they can be implemented badly. That could be what we're saying. It also could be interest rates. I don't know. But I mean,
sir, that doesn't make any sense.
What?
You're saying all of our jobs were going to tariffs, but before he put the tariffs in, we had record high job creation numbers and we had record low unemployment rates. Literally records. Like literally, we had more people employed in this country that we've had, I believe, in like 80 years.
When?
2024. Last year.
Private sector?
Yes.
In what industries?
All of them, sir. We had record high freaking manufacturing jobs. We had every single sector. Our job market was insanely good. Like insanely good. So I don't know what jobs you're bringing back and who's going to work them. We already had a record low unemployment rate. Who's going to work all these jobs? There's no one to work them.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Okay, what about the Midwest? That's been absolutely decimated by jobs going overseas.
Like what? Like who?
The Midwest.
Like who? What jobs went overseas?
The steel mills, all the manufacturing plants. So, I mean, when you say that jobs went down, I mean, they could have, but I mean, they probably have, but it wouldn't be in manufacturing.
Yeah, nope, they did. The manufacturing jobs in the United States are down right now. They were up last year. That's according to BLS data coming from the Trump administration. This is not some like weird off source. This is the Trump administration reporting that their manufacturing jobs are down.
This year?
This year.
Okay, that's why I'm trying to understand like what industries or what companies.
Sir, we can talk about all the companies that left due to Donald Trump's tariffs. Those are even more important. Everything from like Harley Davidson, John Deere, American companies left because of Donald Trump's tariffs. And now, not only is our manufacturing jobs, they're suffering, but our farming jobs, you want to talk about the Midwest, our farmers are going bankrupt, especially soybean farmers, because of Donald Trump's tariffs. So not only is Donald Trump now taxing people and creating a higher tariff and destroying our farming industry, but now he's also using our tax dollars to then go ahead and bail out that farming industry that he destroyed.
Well, the farming industry would be retaliatory tariffs, not his.
No, but his tariffs were the reason why there was retaliatory tariffs. You can't have retaliatory tariffs unless you had tariffs to begin with, correct?
No, well, they're retaliatory tariffs that are the fault of the country, not Trump trying to make trade more fair. That's my view.
Sir, can you have retaliatory tariffs without a tariffs to begin with?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sir, what's the word retaliatory mean?
Like to fight back, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's to retaliate, right? You did this, so I'm doing this back to you, right?
Okay, well, do you think...
So China wouldn't have put those tariffs on if Donald Trump hadn't have put those tariffs on to begin with. They were retaliating against Donald Trump's tariffs. If Donald Trump doesn't put these tariffs on, there's nothing to retaliate to, and therefore all those soybean farmers who were seeing record export sales, by the way, right? Don't have to get bailed out by our government.
Yeah. Well, okay. So this is my view on it. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you that there was like retaliatory tariffs. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, it's not Trump's fault. It's that these countries think they're entitled to take all of our jobs, all of our industry, and then retaliate when we try to make trade more fair, and then that's somehow Trump's fault. That's where I'm.
Sir, if you hit me and I punch you back, that's your fault. It's not mine. Okay,
well, if
you hit me and I'm defending myself, but how it has nothing to do with even to retaliatory tariffs. You understand that, right? It has nothing to do with tariffs. China just went and bought their soybeans someplace else, someplace that wasn't tariffing them. It was that simple. They just stopped buying from American farmers and started buying from Argentinian farmers. And so now these Argentinian farmers are making all the money that our Midwestern American farmers were making, right? And now we're left out of the dark. And they stopped buying from America and started buying from Argentina because of Donald Trump's tariffs. Point blank.
Yep. Then just make China's tariffs higher.
Sir, if you make them higher, they're still not going to start buying soybeans from here. How does that make any sense?
They'll drop their tariffs when they have no products coming from their country into ours.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's impossible.
It is not impossible.
It is, sir. Do you know why?
How?
Because our manufacturing doesn't meet the need of our consumer. We're the number one consumer nation on the planet. It does not matter how many tariffs you put on China. We're still going to be getting goods from a bunch of other countries. Not to mention the fact the only place that we would be getting goods from are a bunch of other countries that make those same products. And Donald Trump has already put tariffs on them also, so it doesn't matter. Regardless, the only people that suffer are the American consumer. We're the only ones that take the hit on this.
Well, not if you're like a blue collar worker, or yeah.
Blue collar workers are the most affected by this. These are the people that are losing their jobs at the highest rate, right? And they're
That's
the
why
people,
I'm trying to understand
sir. Besides that, they're also the people that are paying the higher cost due to tariffs. So they're getting fucked both ways. Yes, they are. The average American home last year, based off the newest data, paid an extra $1,500 in consumer goods just based off of Donald Trump's tariffs last year. That came off the Senate. Which committee was that? It came off of one of the Senate committees. I'd have to get the exact one. They just reported that.
Yeah, from conglomerates like Target.
Yes, conglomerates like Target
Yeah,
that had
so
to
that's
raise their prices due to Donald Trump's tariffs. Do you think that
They
people
didn't
that
have
blue
to
collar
raise their
rule?
prices.
Yes, they did.
How? Their margins are huge. You know why?
Are you kidding me? Is that a joke?
Yeah, their margins are huge.
Oh.
Look at their profits.
Yeah, their profits are high. Their margins are not. You know the difference between profits and margins?
Yeah, I know the difference.
Then what's the difference?
The difference between profit and margin?
Yeah.
I guess margin is like the after expenses, and then profit would be like the money going to shareholders, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not being rude. That is very far from me. Correct. Okay.
Okay. Then
Retail and grocery stores are actually some of the lowest margins that we have in the United States. And those are the two people that are most affected by tariffs. Okay. If Walmart is selling you a broom for $5, okay, it's probably because they got that broom for $3 from China. Okay.
Yeah, and I would agree with you that brooms shouldn't be tariffed.
But brooms are tariffed, and that's part of Donald Trump's policy. You don't get to ignore the blanket tariffs part. You don't get to just say, I like some tariffs. Some tariffs wouldn't be bad policy. Trump's policy is blanket tariffs. Therefore, Trump's policy is bad. If Trump was just tariffing specific industries, then we wouldn't be having an issue here. But he's not doing that.
Okay, well, what was I supposed to do? Vote for Harris, who had no tariff policy? She probably doesn't even know what tariffs are.
The woman with a literal degree in economics and who is just the vice president of the United States doesn't know what tariffs are. How misogynistic can you get?
She doesn't know crap about tariffs.
So let me get it straight. Donald Trump,
she would have bent over for China. She would have bent over for China.
So Donald Trump, who literally is the definition of C's get degrees. Okay, who literally drove us into a recession in his first term. All right. He's the professional on tariffs. But Kamala Harris, the person with a literal degree in economics, who's literally been in the Senate and has literally been the vice president, you don't think knows what tariffs are? You do realize that we implemented tariffs during the Biden administration too, right?
Yeah, Biden did that, not Harris. And I would trust Biden with tariffs more than Harris.
I'm sure she was just on vacation the whole time.
Yeah, probably in China.
She was in China. That's a good one, bud.
Yeah.
You're not thinking this through very well, are you?
Well, no.
No, you're not. I agree. You are not thinking this through whatsoever. I completely agree with that sentiment.
Okay, well, it's a big problem when there's a huge manufacturing crisis in the U.S. and you running for president and have no tariff policy. So, I mean, yeah, I can disagree with some of Trump's tariff policy, but it was great in the first term.
Policy. It was not great in the first term. We were headed for a recession before COVID hit. What are you talking about? The second Donald Trump put in his Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, we were literally immediately heading for a recession.
That was the greatest act probably in a long time.
Sure, if you think that leading us towards a recession, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you remember this?
Yeah, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was like the best tax cut act. It was the best tax policy like the U.S. has seen in a very long time.
Okay, well, let me be very clear. You're 21 years old, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which means that you were 14 when this tax policy came out. Okay? So please don't tell me how it was the greatest thing that you've ever seen when I lived through it and you really didn't. Okay? It literally was a very minor tax cut for the middle class, about a 1% to 2% tax cut for the middle class, right? It was a huge tax cut.
It's insane.
All right, which for the corporations, which shrunk the middle class, freaking almost destroyed the middle class, and sent us towards a recession.
Just not true.
Okay, well, you can say it's not true all you want, but that does. But if your best argument is nuh-uh, then I don't think you're doing very well.
It lowered taxes for small business, farmers. I mean, yes, it did have a lot of tax benefits for wealthy people, but also for ordinary small businesses, regular workers.
He literally had to bail out the farming industry due to his bill the first term too. Just like he is bailing out the farming industry right now because his horrible fucking policies are bankrupting the farming industry. He had to do that in his first term too. Why, guys? I know there must not be that many farmers that watch me, but truthfully, honestly, if you're a farmer out there, are you out of your whole fucking mind? That he literally drove you guys like out of business in his first term, and then you guys went and voted for him again to do the exact same thing. I've done videos. I've watched you guys being like, oh, I don't know how we're gonna make it. We're all losing our farms. Like, dude, like, yeah, no shit. Right? He did this the first time.
The only one to blame is China and all the other countries, not Trump, because he's trying to make trade more fair.
And what is fair trade, sir?
Not like China taking all of our jobs and then just like enslaving their people to sell it back to us for like dirt cheap.
None of that was even a thing. They're not taking our jobs, sir. They're just manufacturing.
They are,
sir. They're just manufacturing.
We lost like since like.
I'm in the middle of a sentence. Thank you. They're just manufacturing shit cheaper than we can. Okay. Period.
Yeah, and
they're doing it. How is it a problem? How is it a problem that I want to get my $3 broom from here instead of having a $50 broom from the United States? How is that better?
Okay, well, not brooms, but I'm talking about like steel. I'm talking about cars.
Donald Trump literally sold off our largest steel company, U.S. Steel, in the United States to Japan. He sold U.S. Steel to Nippon Steel within like 2 months of him being here, being in office. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, I didn't know that. But from what I saw from his last term, there was a lot of targeted tariffs on steel, on cars, on all these industries that have been like absolutely destroyed the past like decade and a half.
Again, sir, and again, no offense. You weren't around for the first term, so you did not watch it happen. I mean, you were around technically.
Well, I have.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure you weren't putting in manufacturing jobs and everything. But we did have good manufacturing jobs when Donald Trump took office, and we had them for a couple years after. The reason for that is because we actually had manufacturing job increases for 5 years or 6 years straight before Donald Trump even took office the first time. Our job numbers were getting better every single year for 6 years before Donald Trump took office. Okay, our unemployment rate was lowering every single year. Yes, including manufacturing, sir. Including manufacturing.
No, I've got to read that. And what?
Then go read it. Then go read it. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, since in the past like decade and a half, we've lost like close to 4 million jobs just to China. China is like the worst. And then you come back and say that like China's retaliatory tariffs are bad.
It's like different jobs.
China needs to be like, we need to like sanction them and like,
sir,
it needs to be. China is the worst country on the planet.
Even if that is what you believe, and that's totally fine. I have some good reason to dislike China and their trade policies and their labor policies myself. That is not Trump's policy. Okay? Let me be very, very clear that that was not Trump's policy. That
It
is
was
not
last
Trump's
time.
policy. Okay? Yeah, because last time Donald Trump actually was being advised by people that actually understood these things, and this time he's only being advised by people who freaking keep orange Cheeto dust on their lips. This is not the same presidency as it was last time.
That's fair. I mean,
Okay.
that's fair. But I don't understand how you could be like us targeting China and then them retaliating against us is somehow the U.S.'s fault.
It
When
is.
It's only China's fault.
Sir, have you ever taken a physics class?
No.
Okay. Well, in physics, we learn this cool thing, okay? It's that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Okay.
And it doesn't mean that
Yeah.
that action was
Yeah.
your
so,
fault.
Yeah, no, it does, sir. If
No,
I
it
create,
doesn't.
sir, stop, please. This sounds sad. Okay. China was tariffing us at the exact same rate that they were tariffing us at before. Trump put his tariffs up. China put their tariffs up with it. Donald Trump put the tariffs down. China put their tariffs
Were
down
they
also.
even?
And let's also be very clear that
Were
that
they
in
even?
Yeah, no, they were not. The U.S. tariffs were
Oh.
the U.S. tariffs were higher the whole
Good.
time, the entire time. Donald Trump put like 100% increase on the tariffs, which ended up bringing China's tariffs, the U.S. tariffs, up to 145%, and China's tariffs up to 110%. Theirs were lower than ours the entire time. They were lower when Donald Trump came in, and they were lower the entire time.
Wait, how much lower?
15%, I believe.
So we were at 50% or whatever. What was it?
Sir, I don't remember the exact numbers. I remember it was like, I think it was like 35 to 20 or something like that, or 30 to 15. It was somewhere in that range.
Okay.
Yeah, theirs were lower.
Yeah, and they still had all of our jobs over there.
They didn't have
So-
all of our jobs, sir. They are
Yeah.
manufacturing cheap goods that the U.S. does not manufacture anymore, and that they really don't want to manufacture anymore in factories that Americans don't want to work in, by companies that
Oh, no
Americans
way,
don't
no
want
way.
to freaking bring over. Oh, 100% way.
No,
100% way.
You think all of the Midwest that have lost 100, like over the past 15 years, have lost all their jobs
They have not lost all
to
their jobs.
overseas? Yes. Look
No.
at this. Look at like small towns in the Midwest that their whole town was manufacturing.
Do you know why
Like
that is?
steel. Why?
Well, it's actually a couple of things. One, the failure to adapt by a lot of American companies. Okay. Two, technology. Right? We're seeing
do you
that.
mean
We're
by
seeing
that?
that with AI. I'm saying that things like electric cars have become more popular, and while the American car industry does refuse to go and actually invest in American cars, right? You then saw companies like Tesla come onto the market, right? Create electric cars and then build their largest manufacturing in Beijing. Their largest manufacturing
Yeah,
plant
and
for Tesla is in Beijing. American company. That wasn't China stealing our jobs. That is an American
was.
company, okay, who chose to make their manufacturing in China.
And why did
Shows
they
it.
do that?
Why'd they do that? Because it's cheaper labor and natural resources are
Exactly.
there and all
So
sorts of things.
they're stealing from us.
That's not stealing, sir.
It is. They're stealing
Sir,
all the jobs.
Sir, let me ask you a question.
What?
Say, like, do you have a job?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a special needs paraprofessional.
You're a special care needs professional. Okay, perfect. So say you run a company that specializes in that, and I run a company, okay, that can create, that does the exact same thing, but I do it at half the price. Am I stealing your jobs, or am I just doing it better than you, and that's capitalism?
If you are stealing my jobs, if you're taking it from a cheaper country,
No, I'm just able to do your job better than you are for a cheaper price. Okay,
well, you're
I have set
comparing
my
your-
entire thing up. Am I stealing your job? Okay, or am I just more efficient than you, and that's capitalism? What is?
No,
do you understand
you
we
are
are a
stealing.
free market capitalist country, right?
well, we should be a lot less free market.
You should
A
be
lot
less free market, so we need to be more socialist.
Yeah, we need a lot of tariffs, very strong enforced tariffs. We need to actually enforce our antitrust laws. which we
Mm.
don't.
Sir, you do
Our
realize
tariff-
that we used to be a tariff only income country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know why we stopped?
Why?
Because it was bad for the consumer, right? People need to get out of this mindset, and I don't know.
No,
I
it was-
assume
it was bad. It was bad for the people at desk jobs that are wealthy, but
no,
it wasn't
was bad for
the workers.
consumers. Yeah, because
No, okay,
consumers,
well, you're-
that wealthy person at the desk, whatever, can eat tariffs all day long. Middle class people can't.
Well, middle class people that lost their jobs from it going overseas, they would much rather have tariffs.
Okay,
And
well,
bring
those
that
tariffs
industry back.
are destroying their jobs currently. So how are they feeling right now?
What jobs? How are they destroying their
Sir,
jobs?
again, I already told you we are down 1 million fucking jobs in this country this year. I don't know why we're going back to this.
Okay, well, I don't know why you're referencing jobs that aren't like manufacturing related, they're not affected by tariffs.
Sir, are you sure you're equipped to have this conversation? Like, honestly, because we already went through how retail jobs are affected by tariffs. We've already talked about manufacturing job numbers.
Yeah, that's
We've already talked about all of this stuff. Why are you repeating the same things again, as if I didn't already explain in great detail all of these things to you?
That's like Target, retail, those big corporations that are getting rid of jobs. That's a problem of lack of union power in the U.S. and a lack of antitrust enforcement, not tariffs. It's because they're so
but
big.
They only started, but it just started and got much worse because of tariffs.
Sure, because they're a monopoly.
Yeah, manufacturing in the U.S. are cutting thousands of jobs. Yeah, so this is a nice, great article from Money Watch. The U.S. is losing thousands of manufacturing jobs. Analysis says manufacturing in the U.S. are cutting thousands of jobs, even as President Trump puts economic policies that he says will revive the industry. Employers shed 12,000 manufacturing jobs just in August, while payrolls in the sectors have shrunk by 42,000 since April, according to new analysis for the Center of American Progress that draws on government labor data. And then it actually goes
government labor data. There we go.
Yeah, that's BLS, sir. That's the Trump administration's reports. I don't know why you said that as if it was a gotcha.
Well, wait, hold on. You said government data jobs?
Did you think that was a gotcha or something? That's very, very strange.
No, reread it.
All I said was the employers shed 12,000 manufacturing jobs in August, while payrolls in the sectors have shrunk by 42,000 since April, according to new analysis from the Center of American Progress that draws on government labor data. That's all I said.
Government labor data. What is that? What is that referencing?
The data on labor that the government puts out.
Okay. I just misunderstood you. Okay.
Cool.
All right, keep going.
Yeah. When Mr. Trump in April announced a range of levies on dozens of other countries, by levies, they mean tariffs, by the way. The White House said tariffs would protect American workers by reducing U.S. trade deficit with its economic partners and spurring employers to move manufacturing jobs to the United States. For now, however, confusion over the sale and scope of these U.S. tariffs have put manufacturers on the defensive, increasing their costs and discouraging them from hiring. Economist Sarah Estep, one of the authors of the CAP report, told CBS Money Watch. Companies are uncertain about what's happening, she said. Everything has been changing on a day-to-day basis, so it's not clear what production should look like. That's why they aren't hiring. In August, for example, farm equipment giant John Deere cited tariffs and announcing its sale and operating profits had dipped from a year ago. In an earnings call, an executive with the company noted that it had racked up roughly $300 million in tariff-related costs, including on steel and aluminum imports. John Deere also announced it was laying off more than 200 workers in plants in Illinois and Iowa, according to AG Web, a trade publication.
Okay, and they're saying manufacturing jobs in the U.S.?
Yes, these are manufacturing jobs. Okay? These are manufacturing jobs that are directly being cut due to Donald Trump's tariffs.
Okay, well, I'll have to read that article because it's not making sense to me.
You should.
But,
This is one of about
but okay.
1,000
Okay, but-
articles from every major economist in the United States that all say the exact same thing.
Okay. Well. Okay. So okay. Let's say you're right. Let's say you're right. You know, I haven't read the article. Let's say you're right. It's not a disputed fact that there's been like over 4 million jobs lost over the past like decade and a half, manufacturing jobs, like industry jobs that were sent overseas because it's cheaper. Like we all thought that it would be better for the consumer to send them overseas and then we would be more of a service-based country. Well, then that affected a lot of people that were in those jobs, and that now, you know, they're not in like skilled labor. They didn't go to service jobs. They just went to way lower paying jobs.
Yeah,
So-
sir. You know how many people that, you know, that shoed horses lost their job when we invented the car? That doesn't mean we should get rid of cars and go back to horses. Okay? Just
Well, no,
because
that created more jobs.
just
that created
because-
more jobs.
and we created more jobs also.
No.
Okay? You're just saying,
No.
sir, yes.
No way. What jobs?
Yes.
What jobs did we create
Yes,
by getting
sir.
rid of manufacturing to
We
send
didn't
it
get
over?
rid of
overseas?
manufacturing, sir. We just became a more consumer nation. Okay. People stopped working in factories and started working in data centers, right? People stopped working in factories and started working in. Sir, I'm not asking your fucking opinion. Okay.
Give me one article on that.
I can give you the BLS stats that show the unemployment rate was the lowest it had been in 80 years last year.
No. Give me the data you just said.
Sir, if the unemployment rate is lower, that means more people are working. If more people are working, then your entire stance on people aren't being able to work anymore goes out the window. I don't need to find, sir, I don't need to find the exact job that they worked in to know that they're still working. Okay? You are trying to tame this argument down, or tame this argument down to, there's some small town that lost their jobs. Yes, sir. Small towns lose all their jobs all the time. Okay. Whether it's to China, whether it's to change in the market, whether it's all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Okay. When you have an entire town,
policy.
when you have an entire town whose entire industry is based off a private company's factories, okay, then capitalism will eventually destroy that town.
No, not if there's tariffs.
Period.
Not if there's tariffs.
Even with tariffs.
No.
Even with tariffs. Actually, especially
How?
with tariffs.
How?
Because, sir, if you don't understand how at this point, then you were either being willfully ignorant, or
No,
you
if
do
the
not,
company-
or sir, you do not have the comprehension skills to understand it. Because I have literally already explained this to you in excruciating detail. Okay. And if you're still saying how right now, either A, you're doing it because you do not have the ability to understand what I'm telling you, or B, you are purposefully ignoring it. There is only there's only so many different ways I can explain this, and I have dumbed it down as far as I fucking can. Okay? So don't ask me how again, okay? Because if you can't get it based off of this, then I can't help you. I have literally explained it to a point where a middle schooler could understand it.
Okay, so what I'm trying to understand is, if you can find me any data on this, is what you're saying is that the manufacturing, like there's a lot of towns that had big manufacturing plants that are dead now because they got sent over to China. Okay, when they lowered the tariffs, because that was going to be better for consumers. So what actually ended up happening is they left those manufacturing jobs, and yeah, they went to like retail jobs where all the consumerism is. But those jobs are crappy. They pay less. They have no union. They have no benefits. So like Amazon, like Target, those that's where they went. They didn't go to like data centers. I don't know where you got that from.
Manufacturing jobs in the United States don't have unions and pensions and benefits and all that sort of stuff in the United States right fucking now. Donald Trump is currently, sir. Donald Trump is
more than Walmart.
Sir. Donald Trump is currently bragging about freaking Toyota manufacturing in this country, and Toyota's freaking manufacturing isn't unionized in this country. Okay, that's because we've loosened labor laws in this country to allow private companies to be able to get away with fucking over their workers. And a lot of that deregulation, okay, was extended, if not purposely implemented, under Donald Trump's last administration alone. He loosened the labor laws, okay, in his first administration. All right. So if you want people to be able to be unionized, to be able to make better wages, to be able to do all this stuff, then maybe we should do things like strengthening our labor laws. Maybe we should do things like raising the minimum wage. Maybe we should, again, go away from a little less free market capitalism and a little bit more socialism in order to actually protect our fucking workers. Donald Trump is the opposite of that. He's going further away from those things.
And you say that, and then you like want to lower tariffs. That makes no sense.
Sir, I want to target tariffs.
Okay, on what? On what?
Dude, there's a bunch of things that we can do. I'll give you an example. Biden raised tariffs when it came to freaking semiconductors in this country and ended up creating hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs that in chip manufacturing, and 7 brand new factories that are made by TSMC, including one that's already opened up in Arizona, that pay over 6 figures with only a high school diploma. That was a very targeted tariff to not only help our national security, but also help our labor market and provide amazing jobs. That's an example of a targeted tariff. But see, sir, I'm not the fucking president. Okay? I don't know if you know this or not. I'm not the president. That was something that Joe Biden did, okay? Because he had an understanding, okay, of what a targeted tariff is and how you're supposed to use tariffs. Kamala Harris also would have had that understanding, considering she was right fucking next to him.
Where was the tariff plan?
Shh. Thank you.
Where was the tariff plan?
No, sir, I understand you're like 12 years old, okay? I get it. No president has ever had a tariff plan.
That was all Trump ran on.
Exactly, and he's fucking it up because no president should ever have a tariff plan. Having a tariff plan is not a good thing. Okay?
It is.
No, you know who didn't have a tariff plan and did excellent targeted tariffs? Biden. You know who else did? Obama. Fuck. Bush, and he was a bumbling idiot. Didn't run on a tariff plan, okay? And still did excellent targeted tariffs. Okay? You can talk about Clinton's targeted tariffs. He never ran on a tariff plan. Hell, Reagan had targeted tariffs, and he fucked our economy all to hell, and he didn't even run on a tariff plan. Nobody runs on a tariff plan because running on a tariff plan is fucking stupid, and it only targets people that don't understand how tariffs work. The only people that get excited about, I'm going to tariff all these people, the only people that get excited about that are people that don't understand tariffs. Like yourself.
No, I agree with that, but you were just arguing about like not having tariffs on electric cars because it's better to have it cheaper made overseas.
I never said that.
You literally did.
There was literally tariffs put on the Biden administration directly on electric cars.
Okay. So let me clarify. What industries do you think right now would be good to have targeted tariffs? So to see if we can agree or not.
Sir, I think that there's a whole plethora of ones that could be used for targeted tariffs. Everything from agriculture to manufacturing, to the car industry, always can use good targeted tariffs because our car industry is failing. We also need to subsidize those car industries so they can actually catch up to the rest of the world. Okay, that's not the point.
What about steel?
The point is that you got duped. Okay, you got duped by a guy who doesn't understand tariffs. Okay, yelling about tariffs, and now you're repeating it, and it didn't work. It failed.
They worked great the first time.
No, they did not. Okay, that's why companies like Harley Davidson and John Deere fled the country to start manufacturing in Mexico after his first tariffs. Okay, didn't work the first time, didn't work the second time. What you need is somebody who, first of all, has a better plan than, I'm just going to tariff China. I don't know what a trade deficit is, and I don't know why it's bad or good, but I'm going to say it's bad, which is Donald Trump's literally entire policy, is that we have this trade deficit with China with a complete lack of understanding of what the fuck a trade deficit is. Okay? By the way, a trade deficit is not bad necessarily. Let me be very clear on that. Okay?
It's bad if all our jobs aren't coming back.
Oh my God, you're like a bad broken record.
You think all the jobs we lost over the decade and a half are back?
Oh my
Like
fucking
they're back.
God.
How do we change that without tariffs?
Sir,
Seriously.
there are so many ways that we could change that without
How?
tariffs, but the key is that we don't want
How?
to. Okay, we don't want to because that would significantly raise the price for consumers of normal goods in this country. Okay, it
But
would put
bring
more.
jobs back.
Sir, it doesn't matter if we bring jobs back if the cost of living is so high that it doesn't fucking matter.
Oh no, it would help.
No, it would not.
Yes, it would.
It would not.
It would help people that are
Sir. I'm not going to go in another circle with you. Okay? I'm not going to do it. Okay? I'm not going to do it. Okay? I have too much going on in my life to sit there and argue these same things that I've already argued with you. I've already proven my point multiple times, and you've already flailed on this argument multiple times. Okay? I'm not doing it again. Okay? Thank you. Okay? Those people in that small town with that factory that went out of business, they moved out of that small town. Okay? They went to some place
where did they go? Did you think they went to data centers?
Sir. They went to where jobs are. I don't know where they went to go work. Sir. They went to where the jobs are. They're not going to come.
Jobs?
They're not going to come back. Okay?
What jobs?
Because, are you shh. They're not coming back. Okay?
What jobs did they go to?
Sir, you were about 2 seconds from getting hung up on if I can't finish a sentence. I understand that your parents didn't discipline you at all. Let's have a little discipline here, okay? They went to all sorts of jobs in all sorts of different sectors, okay? I'm pretty sure that small town people weren't just limited to just Walmart.
Yes, they were because
jobs. So you're an actual idiot.
No, okay, what data do you have to prove otherwise?
So what data do you have to prove that every single person from a small town went to Walmart?
Because they had no skill.
No. You just asked me for data to back it up. Please give me your data that an entire small town left their manufacturing jobs and went to go work at Walmart. Please give me that data.
Yeah, I can find the data for you, but I don't know how you're disputing that. What else are they supposed to do?
No, go ahead. Go ahead and show it to me. Go ahead and show it to me.
Where do you think they went?
No, I don't want to hear your voice. I want to hear the name of an article.
Okay, where do you think they went? I'll find the article for you. I just want to know where you think they went.
Where I said is they went to a plethora of jobs because people
What jobs?
Sir, do you know what the word plethora means?
What jobs?
Do you know what the word plethora means?
Yeah, like crap, like plethora of crap.
Plethora of crap. So you don't know what the word plethora means. That actually explains quite a bit with this conversation.
No, plethora of crap jobs. That's where they went.
Yeah. Go ahead and show me that Walmart data. I'll wait.
What Walmart data?
What Walmart data? You can't even remember this argument that you're making. That's pretty fucking impressive. All right. Well, I feel like we've gone past any type of semblance of intellectual thought. So I'm going to move on to the next caller. Okay. You go find that Walmart data. All right.
And you love screwing small town people. So live your life on YouTube.
Is that the best you got, sweetheart?
That's okay. I can find the article for you if you want.
No, I don't want.
Yeah, you don't
I want you to go read a book.
You don't care.
Sir,
I mean, you really don't care. You only care about cheaper prices.
Sir, I am not going.
Sir,
I am not going to be told I don't care about economics or that Kamala Harris didn't know about economics from somebody who didn't know the difference between profit and margins. Okay, go take an economics. No, you didn't. You tried to explain it. You failed miserably. No, you didn't. You failed miserably. That wasn't even close. That wasn't even the ballpark. Shh. Go take an economics 101 class before you try to argue. Okay.
Okay. Where did these jobs?
All right. Cool. Anyways, we're going to keep this thing going. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. He was just there to argue. I don't think he got schooled on his argument. And so he was just like, I'm going to argue literally anything just to keep arguing. Okay. And this is what happens when parents don't teach their children discipline. Okay. So that should be a lesson to you. If you guys don't want your children to be, functioning members of society, then, that's what they could end up like. Teach them discipline. It's important. Clutch, thank you. Or CBT, thank you so much for the clutch. I appreciate that. Dirty Hippie, thank you so much for the happy poop. Shush, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I really appreciate that. Y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications if you haven't already. If you'd like to support the live, I do have super chat, super stickers, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to go through a couple and then we're going to move on to the next caller. Death Grip, thank you so much for the laughing disco. I appreciate that. Wonder Twin, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said she doesn't know, says the kid who doesn't even know what retaliatory means. Yeah, had no idea. Didn't know what profit was, didn't know what margins was, doesn't know what retaliatory is, but apparently thinks that Kamala Harris didn't have a clue what a tariff was. Very, very interesting. The nerve sometimes. CBT, thank you so much for the gifted. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Velvet, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said, guys, literally they took our jobs. Ridiculous. Yeah, I thought we got past the South Park thing. I thought we were past that, but what are you gonna do? Q, thank you so much for the high five. Entropic, thank you so much for the thumbs up. Danielle, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says he still thinks other countries pay tariffs. Yeah, we never even got to that part. I would have loved to see how that went. That's very interesting.
It's insane.
And Eve, thank you so much for the 100. I really appreciate that. And James Thompson, thank you so much. Said that was really rough. The non-educated hurts my brain. That was something. That was definitely something. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what it was. Okay. Your brain hurts. How do you think mine hurt? How do you think mine feels right now? Okay. How do you think mine hurts? They took our jobs. Kayla, thank you so much for the $2 over on Venmo. I really appreciate that. Said, I swear this kid's love child name is tariff. This dude's all about some tariffs, bro. Kayla also said, for the $5, says, can I please kick his ass back to middle school? He was already there. I don't know how you could kick him back to that. I don't think that's actually possible. And David, thank you so much for the $50. Oh my God, huge W's in chat for David with the $50 over on Venmo. Says, happy holidays, keep doing what you do. Thank you so much, David. I really, really appreciate that. Huge W's in the chat for David. For that awesome super chat. Man, I was on the phone with that dude for a long time. I don't even know how long was that call. Yeah, Corey, I know I could have, but then what's the fun of that? What's the fun in that? So, and by the way, David, I saw your screen name afterwards. I didn't want to attach it unless you wanted me to. Okay. So I did see I'll attach it if you want. I know who you are. I saw the screen name after I always read it. I didn't want to attach it unless you wanted me to. You know what I'm saying? Kevin, thank you so much for the $2 donation. I really appreciate that too. That's very, very sweet of you. Thank you so much, Kevin. I know I could have, but I mean, guys, I haven't had as many callers as normal. Usually my phone is blowing the hell up. But it's been a little slower lately. So I'm just enjoying my calls, I'm enjoying my calls while I have them. Okay? Just enjoying them. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I am 24. Actually, well, I'm 25. I just turned 25.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, in some ways. Not 100%, but definitely in some ways.
Oh, just like the fascist parts?
No, just in some of his policies and some of that he likes to do in order to, I would say, protect our rights in this country.
And what rights is he protecting? Because he's violated, 8 different articles of the Constitution that all tell us our rights.
Well, just something as simple as closing up the border and not letting, dangerous people into the country.
The border is not closed.
I mean, it's much more closed than it was during the Biden administration.
No,
Which I
it's
don't
just
believe
it's
was
just
run by
less
Biden,
migrants are showing up than it was at certain points during the Biden administration. You do realize that Donald Trump is the person that granted asylum to the Afghani gentleman that killed those 2 National Guardsmen, right?
Insane.
I also know that the Jews did 9/11, and they're taking over the world, and it's the synagogue of Satan.
So it's a Nick Fuenteser. You're one of those gripers. Yeah, you're one of those gripers. I can feel it. I could literally like sense like how small it was like the second you got on the phone.
What's that?
Just a little shrimp energy, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, sure.
The laugh is not helping. And I say that from somebody with a funny laugh. That is not helping.
I think it's pretty funny.
Mm.
No,
Well,
I just think
just let you know. No. So, I know that children like you, okay, think that just like being anti-Semitic, being racist, being xenophobic is funny. It's not, okay? It's just, it's really not, okay? It just makes you sound sad. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 I have you completely muted, okay? Because while I do support people's opinions on here, I am not platforming just blatant anti-Semites, and that's fucking sad. So fuck off and have a good one. All right. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we're gonna keep this thing going to the next person. Yeah. Yeah, I just go ahead and mute that. That wasn't really important to have. I don't. Did he say the N-word yet? No, he did not say the N-word during that. Apparently, most of his hatred was very very groyperish. It was very groyperish. Hello, how are you? No. All right, fine. I hung on. You got me. I'm doing great. How old are you? Awesome. Do you still support Trump? You did understand what I was saying. I wasn't speaking a different language or anything. Okay. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. It does feel good. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Oh, my goodness. Sorry. I had you muted on. I didn't click both of them off. Sorry, y'all. This guy, sorry. He was explaining how the last guest didn't know what he was talking about. This guy's 22. Says he's supports some Trump stuff. I apologize. I had you muted on one thing. I thought I unclicked it, but I didn't. But anyways, what I was saying is it's really nice to actually hear that from somebody who's not, like a normal follower or, TikTok. You guys heard. No one else did. Who's not, completely on my side. Let's see if we hit this live gift goal on TikTok, by the way, y'all. So I'm glad to hear that I thought I did a really good job of explaining it to him. So I'm glad I did. So what do you support from Trump?
It's like weird. I'm like, I do support, but I don't support. I guess my main topic would be gun rights.
Okay. And how is Donald Trump supporting your gun rights?
That's what I kind of wanted to get some clarification on, because I thought originally he was on the gun rights side of that, the 2A rights style movement and all that. And then now, I'm doing my own research, and I'm wondering what research you may have to prove that he's not for anything 2A related. You know, he's pushing anything anti 2A.
Here's what I'll tell you. Okay. The NRA spends hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, convincing gun owners that the left is coming to take their guns. Hundreds of millions of dollars. Yet, the most restrictive gun law that's been passed in the last 16 years came from Donald Trump. Okay? Not from Obama.
Which one was that?
The bump stock ban.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. The most restrictive law has come from Donald Trump. Okay. This year, the NRA spent a whole bunch of money saying that Kamala Harris is coming after your guns based off of something that she said in the past, which I'm not denying that she said. She had talked about mandatory buybacks in a previous, election run for something 10 years ago or whatever. Spent literally millions and millions of dollars to convince you to not vote for her. And do you know why they do that?
Why is that?
Because then every time someone from the left gets elected, people rush out and buy a whole bunch of guns, and it makes the NRA a shit ton of money. Like,
And I agree with that completely.
A
I
metric
do not like the NRA.
shit ton. Well, I'm just saying that's what happens.
I
Okay.
support other organizations that actually do advocate for rights and are actually doing something in a legal stance. The NRA is just a boomer money grab. Now, my biggest stripe is like, I see what you're saying with Trump. He passed quite a few bills with his first term in office compared to Obama, who had 2 terms. He passed way more than Obama ever did. However, my worry is, though, the left is very adamant about control on gun rights, where I feel the right is quiet. They act like they're for it, but they're secretly doing more than the left is. Is that kind of true?
No, the left just wants people to be able to have their guns while also supporting legislation that actually makes sure that the right people have the guns, that we don't have so many guns out there that they're on the loose, that the number one preventable cause of death in children in the United States isn't gun death, which it is currently right now, right? Like the argument that keeps being made, and it's a really sad one, okay, is that for some reason people believe the Second Amendment means that they can buy however many guns with whatever guns they want, whenever they want, and store as many as they want, and that's what the intent was, and it wasn't. It never was that intent. The Supreme Court has never affirmed that is what the Second Amendment says. No one has ever agreed to that definition of the Second Amendment whatsoever. Okay. The left says you want to be able to protect yourself at your home. We 100% agree with that. You should be able to own a weapon in order to do that, right? You want to be able to go hunting. You want to be able to, to provide for your family, then you should be able to have the guns to do that. They say if you want to go sports shoot, if you just enjoy shooting, you should be able to have the guns to do that. But we need to make sure that you are the right person that has that weapon, that you are licensed to have it, that you have the ability to use it correctly. Right. And that you can store it in a safe manner in which somebody else that doesn't meet those qualifications can't get a hold of them. Right. And for some reason that has been framed, again, specifically by the NRA, because this is NRA messaging, that is somehow a restriction on your right to own weapons. And it's not. Right. It actually is the opposite of that. Right. Because if we actually had those restrictions actually in place, right, those boundaries, we'll call them, right, then more people would be able to own guns and there would be less damage going on all around us, right? Because like you said, right, like the gun industry always says, like, oh, criminals don't follow laws. Yeah, but law-abiding people do, and those law-abiding people would be stopping those weapons from getting in the hands of the wrong people, right? And so we decrease child death by guns in the United States, we decrease mass shootings in the United States, and people would still be able to have have the weapons that they want. But we have to get out of this mindset that that's a restriction on our rights.
Yeah. So are you saying that certain weapons should be restricted?
I am definitely saying that certain weapons should be restricted, right? Now, which weapons those are, like, I'll give you an example, right? Like the assault weapons ban in the late 1990s. Are you familiar?
Yep.
Okay. Did you know that during the time of that assault weapons ban, that mass shootings in the United States went down 97%?
Yeah, I've seen those statistics. And now, again, this is what date were you getting the data from?
What date am I getting the data from?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't quite understand the question.
Like, what year is that data pulled from?
I don't remember the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm spitballing, dude. I'm not reading notes, so I don't have.
No, you're good.
I don't have the data from those days regardless. But sir, even if like 97, like let's say that it would like that's not even, let's say that's not even remotely close, right? Let's say it's half of that. Right?
Mhm.
Let's say it's half of that, right? What's half of 97? I'm not great at math. What's that, like 40, 48 and a half? No. 47 and a half? I'm somewhere around there. Math isn't my forte, right?
Around there.
Somewhere in there, right? If I could reduce mass shootings in the United States currently, right now, at this moment, without taking a single gun out of a single gun owner's hands in the United States, why wouldn't we do it? 43 and a half. Thank you. 48 and a half? 48 and a half. I was right. 48 and a half. Someone said 43 and a half. Got me confused. 48 and a half. If I could do that without taking a single gun from a single gun owner in this country, why wouldn't I do it?
Yeah. And I guess my biggest gripe with that too is 'cause I know a lot of the arguments are like, oh, even if they did ban weapons, oh, the people would use other things, or people compare, the UK a lot with their stabbings and stuff like that. But my argument with that, I guess, is people, like, you look at other countries, I guess, like Switzerland is a very good example. They have, their populace is armed pretty heavily, but they're not having mass shooting incidents or issues like we are. And it kind of boggles me. It's like, is it a culture thing? Is that what it is?
Nope. Do you know why Switzerland's so armed?
I don't know the exact history now.
Okay,
I know
let me explain to you the difference between Switzerland and the United States. Okay, you ever been to Switzerland, by the way?
No, I want
beautiful country. I've been there. Very, very beautiful country. All right. So they're surrounded by mountains. The entire country is surrounded by mountains. Right? This is important.
Yeah.
All right. So the entire country is surrounded by mountains, right? And what they do is they have conscription, right? So mandatory service, right? You turn 18, man, woman, child, not child, man, woman. They all go in the military or police force or whatever, right? They're trained how to use their weapon, right? They're trained in all the safety measures of their weapon. They're trained how to store their weapon. They're licensed a weapon, right? So they are tracked exactly where that weapon goes, right? And then they are handed a weapon after their service is done, right? And then they're told, hey, if we ever need you to come back to help fight a war for us, we got you. You come back, right? So literally, they're surrounded by mountains, and they have a whole system of tunnels within those mountains. And if anybody ever tries to attack, they literally, like, how like our president has the nuclear codes, their president has a button that literally just blows up all the tunnels. And so any army that's actually having to come over has to go over these huge mountains, right? Which makes it almost impossible for a standing army to carry, weapons or tanks and armored personnel carriers, all that sort of stuff, right? And then they call back all those people that they gave the guns to that have all been trained, licensed, they know how to use them, and they're controlled in which weapons they have. They don't have like gun stores there. They're given those weapons by the government. And that's why they have as many guns as they have people, because the government literally gives them to them.
Yeah. I will say they do have gun stores. There is a limit too of buying weapons, but I know if you're going for sporting reasons, I think the limit's like 11, and it's somewhere around there. And then I know for collection, you can go up to 50. And it's pretty similar, the process of getting a license to carry, as it is to get a license to own firearms there. So there is the ability to buy, even if you weren't in any serving in the military at all. There's still the capability to go basically replicate what we have here with just buying it for recreation.
Yeah, but there's a lot of differences, right? One, their licensing procedure is way different. Their concealed carry is a lot different, right? All of their laws are very restrictive on who has them. Do they know they can use them? Can they be, contained? Are they, mentally stable? Do we have the correct, like, red flag laws? Do we have all of those things, right? They have all of the things that the left wants to implement that the right stops them from doing.
Yeah. And I will say this too, like, again, this is why, like, I'm in the middle, because again, I live in Florida. So, we have Ron DeSantis. He after the Parkland shooting, very sad, he raised the age for rifle and pistol to 21. He also recently enacted a law banning FRTs. He enacted red flag laws. And it's like people are saying the right is the way to go, but it's like they're really restrictive, the same as the left. So it's like, for me, I don't want that level of restriction. I mean, I agree when it comes to background checks and also mental screening, because that, I know that will solve a lot of the issues that we have in this country. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, it can be a lot, you know, very restrictive at some points. And it's like, I feel like no matter what side I go to, there's gonna be just no one really actually does care about the gun rights. It's they're, you know, it's like
Correct.
you go for the right, they're
Yeah, because you're
they're
delusional
really
about
trying
what
to
your
get-
gun rights are.
Yeah.
The problem in this situation is not the right or the left; it's actually you. And I'm really not saying that being a dick.
Yeah.
Like I'm really not. I'm truly not even trying to say this being a dick. Like that if both sides are wrong, then your expectations are wrong. Right? What is your expectation?
So I guess my expectation is to basically, I like, me personally, I want to have a rifle. I do have a rifle, and I want to own it without the restriction of, oh, you know, we have a law, basically, I know the FRT stuff's been hot lately. You know, we have it written in law, and just like when you go to legal battle, whatever, you know, it's war Jenga, and you're finding ways to work around a law. You know how with a full auto fire, you know, it has to be multiple basically firing between one trigger pull, where the FRT is pulling the trigger each time. And, you know, when it comes to that, now they're trying to regulate that, but the law itself says that, but the law itself says that, you know, it's based off of this definition. So do you think that definition needs to change?
I think that people need to stop seeing the Second Amendment as a right to own whatever gun they want. That's what I think.
But it is one right, though.
Huh?
It is a right, though.
It is
the
not.
Second Amendment right.
No, it's not.
So you're saying the Second Amendment doesn't exist?
No, I'm saying the Second Amendment was specifically written as a states' rights law in order for them to have a militia, and in order for people to be able to have guns in order to have that militia. That is why there are very specifically placed commas in the Second Amendment that for some reason people ignore.
But why is that not? Why shouldn't we have that now? Is my question.
Why shouldn't we have a well-regulated militia? We should. It's called the National Guard.
But the militia wasn't an actual organized government entity.
It actually was. It was a state militia. That is what the Second Amendment was talking about. It was talking about a state militia, a well-regulated militia that is ran by the state. That is literally our National Guard. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that is what it gives the right to. Okay, and while very conservative Supreme Courts have said that, you know, hey, it doesn't exactly apply to just militias, it applies to everyone, right? That everyone should be able to own weapons. They also very specifically said that does not mean that the government doesn't have the right to restrict you from those weapons. That was DC versus Heller, I believe. I haven't talked to this in a while, but I believe that was DC versus Heller that actually specifically said that it does not mean that the government doesn't have the right to restrict you on those weapons. Okay, sir. You have the right, again, to own a weapon to protect yourself. Okay, you have a right to be able to hunt. You have a right to be able to sport shoot. You have the right to be able to do all of those things. That does not mean that you have the right to do it with whatever weapon you can make up or some gun manufacturer can make up in their head. It doesn't mean that you have the right to do it unsafely. It doesn't mean that you have the right to do it without us knowing that you have it and that you have the ability to handle it correctly. It doesn't mean all of those things. It just means that you have the right to do those things, right? And I think that we need to be very, very specific when we talk about those things, okay? I've been very open about this in this live. I also live in Florida. I'm also a concealed carry license holder, right? I'm also an owner, right? Yeah. We have to get out of this mindset, right? Because 99% of the restrictions that are put on people that do own guns, right? Which, by the way, the left is not is not the opposite of that. Like everybody I know on the left, literally not everybody, but the majority of the people I know on the left own some type of weapon. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I have friends like that. I have friends all over.
yeah, exactly. So this is not a left or right issue. This is a how do we stop people from being murdered at an incredibly high rate? All right, that is what this is. Okay, because well before the Second Amendment was written, right, we have people's right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Right, well before.
Mhm.
Right now, children, the number one cause of preventable death in children in the United States is gun violence. Number one. Okay, that is taking away the rights of children to live in this country. Right? Period. Right? Liberty, right? We have children right now, right, that are having to do active shooter drills in their schools. Like, do you remember that huge thing where it's like, oh, they're bringing like cat litter and all this sort of stuff into schools because kids want to be cats? Do you remember that like ridiculous narrative that people were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. You do know that they actually do have cat litter in schools? You know why?
I not really know.
Yeah, it's preparedness for kids that have to pee during an active shooter.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah, that is against the liberty of Americans in the United States. And your right to own a gun does not trump, okay, the right of people to be able to live. We are the only country in the world, or in any only industrialized country, or what we used to call first world country, right? We're the only country in the world that has this mass shooting problem. We're the only country in the world that has this problem with children death. We're the only country in the world that are dealing with these issues, and we're the only one dealing with it, first world countries, right? We're not talking about like, other, Civil War torn countries and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and the
that's
only
completely
difference
different.
between us and the other 32 industrialized countries on the planet, the only difference between us and them is that they have more restrictive gun laws and we don't. And they don't deal with near the murder, near the mass, the mass homicide rate, the child, killing, even the suicide rate is lower in these countries based off their more restrictive gun laws.
So that's what I was trying to get at earlier, because like I mentioned, Switzerland, I guess it's a really good example. I know there's other ones too, but that's one people really harp on. They have the same style, militarized assault rifle, whatever you want to call it specifically. They have the same style of weapons that we have, but they don't have this issue. And I know you mentioned all the restrictions they have and all of the different levels of background checks and the screening that they go through. And I mean, if we did implement that here, do you think that would solve it? If there was a common medium here, because I do want to own this type of stuff, and you're saying that if we got rid of it, that'd be the easy, simple solution. Yes. Now, if we want to keep it and do what other countries are doing, where we have harder screening, do you think that would fix the issue?
Nothing's good. I guess the question is, what do you define as fix the issue? Right. I think fixing is
you're talking about stopping or decreasing mass shootings, right?
Right. So like, you can buy that type of rifle in Australia. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take away. You can buy it. There's just a lot more steps involved. Right?
Yeah.
There's a shit ton more steps involved. All right. This year, Australia had a mass shooting. Right? Before that, they hadn't had one, or was it a school shooting or mass shooting? I think it was I can't remember which one it was. It was one of the two. They had one this year. Before that, they hadn't had one since 2022. Right? It's not saying that you can't have one. It's just saying there's a shit ton more steps and checks and background checks and, and checks afterwards, right? Hey, you have it. You still have it. It's being stored correctly, right? It's not in a spot where somebody can steal it. No kid can get to it. We're going to come check up on you, make sure that that's still cool, right? Like, you still got it in your safe. All right, man, we'll come back later, make sure you're still good, right? It's just, it's more steps, right? It's not saying that you can't have it, right? I've been out shooting. I've been to the range a couple times this year, you know what I'm saying? And shot all sorts of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it. I'm just saying it's not worth any child's life, right? Or anybody's life. Fuck children. Just it's not worth my life, not worth your life. It's not worth anybody in your family's life. It's not worth any of the, so many people that get killed by mass shootings. Those National Guardsmen's life, fucking Charlie Kirk's life for that fucking matter. You know what I'm saying?
And what are you saying is not worth our lives? Like, are you talking about rifles or pistols or any guns?
I'm talking about just guns in general, dude. I'm not trying to make I understand when I get in these conversation with with people that are really into guns and stuff like that. They start talking about the difference between like, oh, what's an assault rifle and what's a pistol, and like how the difference in mag capacity and fire rate and all. I don't, dude. It's not serious.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get into all that. I'm just
okay.
So I think, because I don't know, maybe I'm hearing you wrong. I know you mentioned earlier, like, owning certain types of stuff, it shouldn't be possible, which I agree. Like, we shouldn't be owning, freaking RPGs, which, again, we can't. I mean, you can with a certain license, but that's, again, we don't have issues with regulated explosives. It's mainly unregulated people doing terroristic acts. So there's that. But I guess, like I said, I was asking, like, do you feel like if we had those restrictions that would solve the issue?
I feel like it would have reduced the issue. Again, and that's why we went to solve. Solve is hard, right? Nothing. Things aren't solved, right? Like murder laws don't solve murder, right?
Yep.
Do they restrict it? Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure of of all the people that are here that are listening to this, and there's like 1,200 total, right? I'm pretty sure if murder was completely legal and there was no punishment, there'd be a lot more murders.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You just get you go to work, you get pissed off at your boss one day, and freaking, you're just like, fuck it. There's no punishment. Why do I care? You know what I'm saying? Not saying, I'm obviously generalizing. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking hyperbolically. You know what I'm saying? But more laws on things work. More restricted punishments on things work to a certain point, right? We can't do like war on drugs again. You know what I'm saying? Do I think it would reduce the issue? Yes, I think it would.
So like, look at the NFA. Like, I just recently bought a suppressor. The statistics for mass shooting incidents that happen with anything suppressed or another NFA item, like a fully automatic fire. I'm not talking about illegal. I'm talking a regulated fully automatic firearm that I can buy. Again, it's kind of weird because, you have the whole Glock issue going on now with the auto sears and a lot of,
they were just banned in California, right?
Yeah. So it's like you have a regulated good that you have to go through all these background checks to do, and people that are legally owning them aren't causing the issues. You have people that are legally doing it. Like, what are we to do?
Yeah, sir. It's no different from any other. It's no different from any other law that we have. Okay, like I went to an NFL game a couple months ago, right? Am I bringing a bomb into the NFL game? Absolutely fucking not. At the same time, did I still have to deal with the bag restrictions? Yeah. Is that an infringement on my rights? No, it's not. Okay. It's just following things because I know that the entire stadium is safer, hopefully, right? Because they're checking everyone's bag. And I know that there is most likely, we have a very reduced chance that there is a freaking explosive in the stadium of people that are packed in there. Right. I have to do an extra little step in order to make sure the safety of everybody is better. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure 99.999% of the people that, TSA stops, aren't trying to bring down the plane. Right? But we check people to make sure no one's going to bring down the plane. Right? Yeah. Yes, I am slightly inconvenienced when I go to TSA. Okay, but that slight inconvenience could stop hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people over time, could stop their death from happening. Right? It's the same with gun laws, right? Yes. Am I saying we might slightly inconvenience gun owners for a bit? Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. Not really. You know what I'm saying? But if it's for the lives of, all of these other people, then I think that inconvenience, that slight inconvenience is worth it.
So the thing is though, like, we already are inconvenienced, especially, and again, I know you mentioned the FRTs. I guess you felt that they shouldn't be where they are right now, right? Legal and able to be just bought online.
Yeah, sure.
How you deal with that?
Yeah.
So again, a lot of I haven't seen anything online about FRTs being used in these shootings. Like, a lot of these like, when I'm saying I know it counts as a mass shooting, but I'm talking about like gang violence or something like that. A lot of this is, again, with like illegal, irregulated goods. Like, a full auto Glock or people that put auto steers in their rifles. And then you have the people that buy FRTs, which are legal. And these people that have the knowledge to buy the FRTs aren't the type of people to go and just go buy the Temu Glock switch because that's what all their friends are doing and that's what's cool and that's why those people have them. All the gang members or people who want to commit violent acts, that's why they buy them. It's a trend.
And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't mean to cut you off. I really don't. Okay. Like, I'm not trying to be rude here,
You're good.
but what I'm saying is
You're good.
because of the lack of the other gun laws, people start reaching for whatever things they can. Okay. If we were more restrictive with our firearms as a whole, then I believe that things like FRTs, things like suppressors, things like that would be more easily acceptable or more easily accessible to the people that are owning guns because the entire industry is more regulated. That's the whole point of what I'm making. Gun owners are being restricted right now because they won't allow for restrictions on a mass scale in the places that they need to be. So then people end up going after whatever they can because they're trying to fix the problem. Do I believe that suppressors are the issues or FRTs are the issue when it comes to guns? No. I'm saying that the only reason that people are reaching after those issues is because we can't do an assault weapons ban like the 90s or implement, full federal, like actual integrated red flag laws or things like that. I think that the reason why we have those issues is because of completely other issues. I think those are just side effects from much larger issues that we have within our gun control laws.
Okay. No, I could agree with that. I could totally agree with that. I honestly, like you said, like with the inconvenience thing at the TSA, if that's all I had to deal with to be able to own this in a safe manner and have other people be safe and not dying, I would absolutely do it. But right now, the Trump administration is not doing that. Right now, even before Biden wasn't doing that. So it's like, it's like, I know you mentioned it the last guy, like voting for Kamala, which I know you're not like insinuating, you need to vote for this person or whatever, but like I'm assuming your stance is kind of like leaning towards left and voting towards left, right? Is that correct?
I am, yes.
So my question is, if either party is not going to implicate that type of stuff, what is there to be done?
Well, I'm not in any close to singular way a single issue voter, right? Like I'm not. I take the entire thing holistically.
I have things that I like from one party, one thing that I like from another party. So it's like, what am I to do?
You're supposed to pick the best one based off of all of the knowledge holistically, right? You're not supposed to just be singular in your thing, right? You're supposed to pick people that I hope are intelligent, people that are morally responsible, right? People that have a plan that is actually comprehensive and addresses real issues with the United States, right? Like that's what I would go with, right? I mean, I'll give I can give multiple examples, right? Like Donald Trump, before he became president the first time, was sued over 4,000 times and had over 30,000 accusations of sexual assault, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say probably not the best person, right?
No, I agree with that.
Now, granted, in 2016, she was ruling against Hillary, who was kind of a piece of shit herself. All right. So don't got much to say there. But on this one, right? Second term, right? Convicted felon, found liable of sexual assault, like didn't do anything to really help us in the first term, right? Like just not a good person, not a good president, not a good anything, still got voted in. Kamala Harris, I don't know. She could have been a lot better, but at least I don't think she was just morally corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Her policies actually addressed things that were actually wrong in the United States. Donald Trump said he was going to reduce, help affordability and make things more affordable in the country. Now he is currently calling affordability a Democratic hoax.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy.
It's not goofy. It's what we voted for. It's what Americans voted for. That's what you voted for. You voted for somebody who lied through his fucking teeth, told you he was going to do whatever, told you he was going to do X, Y, and Z, and had zero intention of ever doing any of it, right? And you knew that because his plans were a joke. I'm going to end Russia-Ukraine war in one day. How? I'm just going to do it. Just vote me in. Oh, okay. I'm going to decrease all your grocery costs day one. How are you going to do that? Well, I'm just going to do it. Well, how are you going to do it? Just vote me in. I'm going to do it. It's not a plan. You had a morally reprehensible person who had zero plan on how he was going to help this country. And people, for some reason, voted him in just based off of him running ads on trans people. I say that people that are morally sound, at least as morally sound as you can get for a politician, who have plans for America, are going to make the best decisions that they know possible for this country. They're all going to make mistakes, and they're going to make the best decisions they can for this country. And I personally am going to vote for somebody who, again, protects life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I don't think that Trump does that in any way, shape, or form.
I about to say, it's hard because every politician makes mistakes. They're people at the end of the day. So it's like, it can really be hard, judge a person off their mistakes. But one thing I'm noticing is with Trump, you see all this stuff coming out, and people were originally saying, oh, it's conspiracy theory. And now it's like, holy shit, it's coming out. But then you also have it for left centrist, whoever, there's just so much shit now, with all this drama happening behind the scenes and all these crazy things that are coming out. And it's like, how do you trust anyone anymore?
Yeah, that's easy. You trust what you can verify, right? You trust what you can verify.
Yeah.
Right. The whole thing with Biden was, he's sleepy Joe Biden and has dementia, which of course was never in any way, shape, or form proven whatsoever. So not verifiable whatsoever. Was he too fucking old to be president? That's verifiable. But we knew that before he voted him in, just like Donald Trump is right now, right? The big, he was using the auto pen. Every president has used the auto pen since Thomas Jefferson. That's the big conspiracy theory that's coming out, right? Every single president has. Donald Trump's he's literally taking bribes from terrorists. And it's not non-verifiable. He has leaders of Al-Qaeda that are on video holding people's heads. And he's talking about how they're great people in the Oval Office, right? He's taking bribes from, Mohammed bin Salman, right? Who literally murdered a U.S. journalist, right?
Yeah.
He got bribed with a plane from Qatar. Tim Cook gave him a gold brick. Right? And then all of a sudden, any tariff that had to do with Apple just got lifted. Right?
Yeah. But the thing too is that's not just Trump. That's also other people.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No president has had the blatant amount of corruption that Donald Trump has had since Nixon, but Nixon actually looks pretty clean in comparison to Donald Trump.
I'm saying people that were running for office.
Sir, no U.S. president in the United States has had near the level of corruption or bribery that is blatant in the Trump administration. None of them. Zero of them. Right?
I guess that's why it's not blatant, but it's blatant. But the thing is what are we not seeing from any? It's just hard for me to trust anybody anymore. I guess is the best way to say it. Because you don't know what's.
Sir, are there some? Yeah, are there some other people that were probably taking bribes? Yeah. If that's what you're saying, I agree. There probably were. But if we see all of these from Donald Trump, which ones were we not seeing? Isn't that terrifying too?
Yeah, that's what I think about. Again, as a whole, not just Trump, but everyone. And it scares me because I'm I voted for Trump and now I regret it. And it's but now who do I vote for?
Here's what you do. You vote for the midterms and you vote for whoever in the midterms that you can possibly vote for. Okay. That helps put a limit on Donald Trump. Okay. Because he is trying to consolidate power in the White House, in the executive, to try to implement whatever policy he wants without any checks and balances. Our country is based off of checks and balances. Okay. Donald Trump should not be able to be an autocrat, right? He should have to get approval from his legislature before he is doing things, right? So you vote people in, whether that's Republican or Democrat. I don't even care which one, but whoever it is better be willing to stand up to Trump and be able to check him on his power. That is what you do. And then we do that in 2026. And then in 2028, we figure out who the presidential candidates are and we go from there. All right. But we can't think past next year and just putting a check on presidential power. That is what is important right now. We cannot let him continue to consolidate power within the executive. And that's what we do. And whatever district you're in, you make sure you vote locally, you vote for your state representatives, you vote for your congressional representatives, and you do that and you support them in any way that you can. And we just make it to the next step. That's what we do, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know, like, how is that going to happen though? Because it's like there's so much brainwashing on Trump's side, and then also on the Democratic side, there's like the far left, which are like there's just so much happening. And like,
what is the far left, sir?
I mean, I would say the far left is what media is idolizing as the far left. So maybe it's not the true far left.
The far left is what right-wing media creates? Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
sir, the far left in this country wants universal health care.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I'm saying I agree with that stuff, and I'm fine with left. But when it comes to, I'm talking about the stuff you see that you'll see on media, and it's like there's quite a few people out there. You can't ignore that they don't exist, and maybe they're a minority in the majority. But like what?
Sir,
it's just.
I have to move on this call, so I don't want to go too far. But dude, sir, the far left is like Bernie Sanders, who's like, let's give free food to people and let's make universal health care. Like that's the horrific far left that the right is scaring people on. Is like let's make sure that the number one, like the United States, that the number one cause of bankruptcy is medical care costs. And again, not the problem in any of the other 32 industrialized nations on the planet, because they all have universal health care. Right? Let's make that not a thing. Ooh, right? The far left is Mamdani, who wants to create, like free transportation for people and give people free healthcare or free childcare options and provide free food at like, socialized grocery stores.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to scare me when talking about far left, dude. Like, that's the far left. We're not dealing with like, with like a far left in like, 100 years ago in Russia, right? The far left in the United States is actually center left in every industrialized nation on this planet. The far left doesn't scare me, dude. The far right, okay, who's literally like having people like Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller talking about remigration, which is literally ethnic, like 1930s ethnic cleansing in Europe. That scares me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's scary.
And yeah. So I see what you're saying with the far left stuff. Again, it's probably just demonized online that I'm seeing, which again, media sucks. It sucks because it's like, I honestly, where is a good place to consume media from? Like good real media. You know what?
I'm just gonna go and throw this one out there, and I'm not sponsored by them. I should be. They should send me a couple bucks out of this. But check out Ground News.
Ground News? Okay.
So Ground News will report articles. Okay. Or not articles, but like themes of articles, right? Like, we recently stopped a US or a Venezuelan oil tanker and detained it, right? Ground News will tell you this is what it is. Then it will give you every single site that's reporting on it, tell you whether that site is right or left, and then fact check that site and tell you whether how factual the reporting is on it.
That's so like is the company itself like independent?
Yep, they are completely independent.
Okay.
Yep, and cool. They will have all the articles linked, so you can literally see like oil tanker, and they'll show you all the websites on there, and you can click on it, and it will take you directly to that site that they're saying it is, and you can read the entire article for yourself.
Awesome. Cool.
So,
well, yeah, I appreciate the education you give me, and also the resources. So that's something I'm definitely gonna do more looking into, because it's hard for me right now. I'm sure it's hard for a lot of people right now to find a good, reliable source. So
You know, it took me forever to get on Ground News. When I heard about it, I was very skeptical. I really, really was. And then I got on it and I was like, there is a paywall. I will warn you on that.
Okay.
I don't think it's super expensive, but there is a paywall. But I will say, like, worth it. I literally like took forever to get on it. And when I got on it, I was like, I should have been on this the entire time. This thing is amazing. Like, it really, really, truly is. Really, really, really is excellent. But hey man, I'm gonna move off the phone call. I really hope you have a wonderful night, all right, man?
Yeah, you're good. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
You too, man. Bye. All right, y'all. We're gonna hit a few super chats real quick. CZ, thank you so much for the $2 donation. I appreciate that. Luis, Puerto Rico in the house, said, glad to be back. This last Timu Maga was so stupid. We got Luis in the house. Puerto Rico's in the house. I love it. Puerto Rico. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Tobin says, as a Jew, I'm sorry. What did we do? Oh, that was that last caller. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I muted him. He was a piece of shit. What else are you gonna do? Sorry, man. I apologize. I can't stop who calls in. I can't do it. All right. Unfortunately. Shadow, thank you so much for the gaming gift. I appreciate that. Luis, Puerto Rico back in the house with 10 gifted memberships. Dude, Puerto Rico, dude, you know what? If Luis keeps doing it like this, my next meet and greet's gonna be in Puerto Rico. Like, I'm gonna have to just go straight there because y'all are over here fucking around. Luis is freaking building the community over here. I love it. Plus, I've only been there once and I really want to go back. So that's actually kind of hopeful. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But anyways, love Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico in the house. All right. Thank you so much, Luis. Y'all, I gotta get offline. I'll see you guys. No, tomorrow's Friday. I'm off tomorrow. I might be on. We'll see. Probably not. But I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? Bye. See you guys later.